Today, Precarious plays Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I don't quite remember. My bombs are off target here. There we go. And now is it going to divert? Or do I have to divert it with the switch? Okay.
Oh, the other... No, see, that's another doing person.
Yeah.
Like, the other kind of romantic, boys, men in pop culture and, like, anime and stuff that I'm thinking about, I'm like, oh, there's that whole genre of, like, vampire dudes that... But they can fight, you know? Oh, shoot, what did I watch? Was it... No, it wasn't that. I can't remember. I've watched a fair amount of, like, kind of subpar, a little bit tacky, like, vampire romance animes, and
yeah.
I don't remember. I can't distinguish them anymore. I think maybe like, one of them had Chevalier in the title.
Blood Plus? Blood? That was one of them, I think.
Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe. Yeah, that seems like a name for an anime that would have a vampire in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I think about it, I'm like, oh, what about Vaughn? And it's like, no, Vaughn does stuff. Vaughn's a mech driver. And it's like, oh, what about, like, who else? Spike Spiegel. Oh, wait, no, he's another doing person.
Yeah.
You know, like, all of these people, like, have a job.
Alucard.
Alucard?
And I know he does stuff, but I honestly feel like that is... It's also, like, the percentage of doing stuff, right?
Like, do you think Alucard's a layabout? Because
it kind of seems a little like he would be when he's not in the middle of an adventure.
Maybe Dracula himself would be...
Dracula is probably a better example.
Dracula is a layabout because he probably does 20 minutes of work per century at this rate. So he's got that figured out. So he's a useless.
He's mainly there to look good.
Yeah, to be handsome. And that is how he gets around his life. Being handsome and having thralls, etc. So I guess Dracula is... No, I think Dracula's the model for that. Yeah, vampires in general, I think, are the model for that sort of like objectified man situation. Which explains why I keep thinking like, well, what about that one sort of like anime? Oh, what about...
Oh.
No... He's a writer. I'm trying to think of like all of the people in like Fruits Basket, like, because
there have got to be way more examples in anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because you know, anime is for the masses, and the masses include me. I'm here, right? I'm thinking of like Fruits Basket. People.
Prince Yuki.
Prince Yuki is a high schooler. He don't have to have a job. I'm thinking about...
I just mean that the stuff he does is pretty trivial, even compared to, say, Cat Boy.
Yeah.
I feel guilty that I forgot his name.
It's okay. I don't remember anybody's name other than Prince Yuki. I don't even remember the girl's name.
Toru.
Sure.
I like Toru. She's a sweetheart.
I like her too.
And she has a comically tragic story.
But do you remember that's like...
My mom is dead. I live in a tent. This isn't a joke, except when we want it to be.
Oh man.
Or this is only serious when we want it to be.
Yeah, I saw a very like stereotypically buff dude purposefully tearing up on camera about how Toru was like really living well. Like he was like, I was feeling bad about my life, but then I watched this anime and it's fucking wholesome. Like I love those videos where somebody's like, I watched this stupid show and it's got me feeling again, because I think that's the magic of of anime, it can be that silly and dingy, and then it's like, but actually, this is really sincere and nice. Anyway, but what I'm trying to get at is there are 2 characters in Fruits Basket that I think qualify. One of them is the dog.
Just the writer?
Yeah.
The person that owns the house that they all stay in?
He's always in a bathrobe, and he's never working.
It's not a bathrobe. I'm pretty sure that's like that's just, I think that he's just a
very traditional.
He just likes vintage wear.
Whatever, it could come off anyways. The thing is, there's that one, and I can't remember. Was it the snake? The one that was just outrageous all the time. Was like in love with everybody. Was it the snake? Was it the bull? No, it wasn't the bull.
No. He suffered from pop culture split personality disorder and would sometimes be really compassionate and mellow, and then would occasionally be like hyper aggressive. I think that was the cow.
Not that one.
Not him?
Not him. The one that was like really embarrassing. The one that was the most embarrassing.
Oh, Prince Yuki's older brother.
Yes. What was he?
I don't remember what zodiac
sign he was.
But I just remember that he was he was an extra horny tailor, which is a pretty great job to have. It's a weirdly, it feels very uniquely anime.
It does. You're
gonna do well for yourself, sir.
Yeah, it's like you do what? You make the maid costumes. All right.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Oh, went right under it. I guess that's cool. It's one of those things where sometimes you see like a business owner in a show, in a piece of media, and it's like, how do you stay in business? But this guy, no, it's like, I know exactly how you stay in business, and it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. So we're still on this puzzle.
Yeah, and I think we might be half done from the looks of it.
Okay, well, we'll just keep rolling.
Shut up. Get out.
Bale can have this problem later.
Keep rolling, criminal. Or a crook, you know that?
Yeah, I would be a crook, except for I did not intend for that joke to be what it was.
I don't believe that.
I know you won't, but I should say that it is true.
I guess what I'm ultimately getting at the end of the day, what's on my mind is that I hate the way Fire Emblem looks now. That's really... They did a trailer for the new Fire Emblem game.
You know what? When I played... What was it? 2 houses, 3 houses,
3 houses,
10 houses, whatever houses.
However many houses. However many houses they can get the audience to pay for. That many houses.
I was comforted by the variety available in the characters and not interested in any of them because they were so overdone. And also really one note at the same time. Like how many buttons does a person really need? How many? I don't know.
Ugh.
It was goofy.
I wonder if they're going to revert to blue before they make it back over there again.
I hope that we get to see a new minimalism come back to anime because I'm ready for it. You know?
I'm tired of two-tone hair.
Yeah, like...
Most of the time. Most two-tone hair.
I don't know. There are just a lot of things that, like, I was not super excited about when they started to be trendy. I was like, I mean, okay. But now it's, like, everywhere, and I'm like, all right, we get it. Are you done? I don't, you know, I generally speaking, I'm in the camp of let people have the things, whatever they want that's not messing anything up. But I'm ready for more of other things. Like, I don't want, you know, the new Fire Emblem style to go away completely.
I kind of do. I think
know,
it's
but
really,
you're more extreme than I am.
It's really gaudy. It's really overdone.
It is gaudy, but, like, I appreciate that gaudiness exists, but I don't want it every minute. It's like the gaudiness has gotten so gaudy to where the point, like, the quantity and the prevalence of gaudiness is gaudy itself. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, all right. Can we have like the simple, like, I don't know.
I just missed the
elegant.
I was gonna use that word. I was about to say I miss the very straightforward elegance of the more classic Fire Emblem character designs, like Eliwood, like Hector, like Lindis. Mm-hmm. So many of the characters are just... Here's the trouble with Fire Emblem specifically. Yeah. Right? The cast is, by the nature of the game, quite large. And you have a single character who has a very noisy, individually, just this very noisy design. And there's just no acknowledgement, no recognition that it's one character out of a cast of 24 or 36 or however many characters there are in the game. And whenever you go from character to character, whenever two or more of them are on the screen at the same time, whenever you spend the entire experience surrounded by all of this visual noise, that's all it turns into, right?
Yeah, it's like, imagine a whole box full of patterned fabrics that are individually beautiful, but you've tossed them all in the same box all wrinkled up together, and you're supposed to make visual sense of that.
Precisely.
And it's like, I love each of you, but you cannot all be here at once. Storage purposes only. Everybody can't give main character energy in every scene. Okay? Yeah. Like, that's not... I mean, like,
That's a good way of describing what Fire Emblem does now.
Everybody has to have main character energy. And I, like, kind of appreciate it as a design challenge to try to make everybody super stunning, but it's really, like, whenever you're telling a story or creating a world and you want to, like, direct attention in certain ways, like, if you're trying to direct the attention everywhere at once, then it goes nowhere. Like, it's just...
It's a net zero effect.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so we went from everybody beige to everybody in different shades of paisley, but, like, we're all still here with the same problem. You know? So, ooh. I, like, miss contrast very much.
Just some textural contrast. Yeah, it's... I'm looking at the new Fire Emblem trailer, and it's especially noticeable there because they've gone back to the Marth well.
Yeah.
So Marth is featured.
Oh, you mean like the character Marth and the well of, like, that story that there is to...
No, just the character and the character design. I don't know how Marth's story is going to play into things, if it will, significantly. I just mean, like, they brought Marth back in spirit and kind of in name temporarily in Awakening, because what's her name? Lucenia? Crom's...
I think it's Lucina.
Lucina?
Maybe.
But we know who we're talking about,
yeah,
right? Remember how she posed as Marth for her introduction?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Fire Emblem players, specifically in Japan,
Marth would look ridiculous with all of these flufferys around.
He does. He kind of does.
Or I should say maybe
No, I'm sorry. That's where you were headed. Yeah.
Maybe they look ridiculous next to Marth, who's like insensible.
Yeah.
It's like
he looks like he's about to go to a fantasy war.
Yeah, and everybody looks like they're going to LARP camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to say that that's a bad thing. God,
it's a bad thing. I'll say it. It's a bad thing. So much stuff comes out of my mouth that's very judgy, but like, I don't want people to not have LARP camp. I just want it out of my face. I just don't want the LARP camp while I'm trying to play Fire Emblem.
I want all of the things.
Here's the problem,
but I want them in different places all the time.
Fire Emblem used to be known for a relatively grounded worldview and aesthetic. It's implicit in the what used to be like the core identity of the mechanics, which is your characters are not overly special. If they die, they die, and they're dead, and that's sad. And then you don't have them for the story, and you don't have them for the mechanical benefits that they provide. Mm-hmm. And you just have to deal with that. And honestly, I think that one of the greatest failures of Fire Emblem as a franchise is that they never thought of a way to make it to where the protagonist could die, and then the game, like, this is gonna sound so weird coming from me because I decry this so often.
You never let characters stay dead.
That too, but honestly, I feel like the ultimate mechanical evolution of a Fire Emblem game, I can't believe I'm gonna utter these words. I think that it would be better with a more procedurally generated campaign structure where the story was de-emphasized, and there were no important protagonists, because then you can just make it to where, like, yeah, if the character that you start the game with dies, you just keep playing, because it ruins the feeling. It ruins the vibe.
See, isn't it awful?
It ruins the vibe if it's like, well, if Nephany perishes, then you have to suffer through that. That's something that you have to care about. But if Ike dies, unless the player is being very honest about the experience and they're like, oh, well, Ike died, so I guess I just stopped
start a new game. Yeah.
No, they're just like, I guess I just stopped playing now.
Oh, yeah, nobody's doing that. Well, you know what? Not nobody, but almost nobody.
Yeah, not a lot of people are probably going to be like, this product that I paid for, I am so attached to the art of it that I'm going to effectively bin it. I'm gonna throw it in the bin because my main character perished. And you know, it's just like in real life. I have decided you only get one chance. But yeah, I think that even though I'm sick and tired of roguelike stuff and procedurally generated stuff, I do think that is a solution that would have been very appropriate for Fire Emblem, and they didn't get there. They ran in the
opposite direction, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, maybe someday we'll get an offshoot that runs the other way.
I mean, we have. You just have to go dig around on Steam for it. Like, you can, we could play, shoot, it's by I think it's by the FTL developers, Into the Breach. We could play Into the Breach and get the exact kind of ideas that I just described and also get a more intelligent strategy title as well. Just because like that was their concern, and they set up. They were not constrained by like the legacy of the product, and they weren't trying to make something that would move the most units. They were just, first and foremost, I think they just wanted to make a really good game.
Is this a save room?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So ultimately, to conclude, what I've really been trying to get at all of today, throughout this entire conversation, is that Samus should be more muscular without her power suit on.
Okay.
That's really, I think that's something that we can all get behind, is that Samus should be jacked.
Yeah. I mean, why not? At least as jacked as Wii Fitness Trainer.